Yeah, yeah. So, this is the face of Star Wars. You know her? I couldn't even remember her fucking face. So, this is Kathleen Kennedy. And she is, the head of Star Wars. George Lucas's Star Wars. Miss things before her weren't canon because they can't find any way to canonize the books and the games and all of that. Post, or it was before she got on the executive of Star Wars. So, and again, I looked at her cringe. So I looked at her portfolio before getting on at of head of Star Wars, and apparently she was on like one board of directors. Then she was on like a committee. Then another committee. And now she's head of Star Wars. And the only thing going through my head was, okay, so what you're telling me is she was as far away from the consumer as humanly possible. And now she's head of Star Wars, right? And you're supposed to tell me she knows, like the director. And you're supposed to tell me that she knows what the consumer wants. Well, apparently she does not. Because, again, Star Wars used to be popular. Like, again, I said this in a previous video. I wouldn't be surprised if some tribe in the Pacific Islands knew what Star Wars was. Some tribe that hasn't seen a white man in their life. But they know what Star Wars is. Not a bit hyperbolic, but I'd say true. But she did everything in her power to absolutely destroy Star Wars. Like, I can't even say it's well, I'd say it is incompetence because the 7th episode of the trilogy, of the third trilogy, was alright. Now, people said it's a ripoff, but I think people, are fine with homages to the original. At least a little bit. Then the 8th episode came out and it was shite. Then the 9th came out trying to fix what the 8th was, and it's just nothing. And then all these goofy little projects came out that I don't think needed to exist, like Star Wars Obi-Wan. Didn't need to exist. Han Solo, again, didn't really need to exist. The Mandalorian Season 1 was fine, in my opinion. It was amazing. No complaints. It was just the Mandalorian. It was like, older Westerners. We just had the Mandalorian going out, beating the shit out of people, then going somewhere else and beating the shit out of people. And I remember when EFAP was like, oh, why is he fighting like this, Why did they hit him in the helmet? Because blah, 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 blah. You have to hit people with the least resistance of your punches. And my argument was, well, if you're in a fight, the adrenaline pumping, blood is rushing, and you don't exactly think, like, you're not like Spock from Star Trek that can logically estimate the effectiveness of a punch and where to punch in a matter of nanoseconds. He just sort of starts swinging. It's like the Danny DeVito meme. Instead, I just started blasting. It's like I just started swinging. But then the Season 2 came out, and it was like, man, Mandalorian Season 2 was alright. But then Season 3 came out, and Season 3 was shite, because, again, they replaced the Mandalorian, Mando, with someone, I can't even remember her name, because it was in Star Wars, the Clone Wars, it was the blue Mandalorian lady with the orange hair. I honestly can't remember her name because again, her story was over, right? She had her story. It was done. But for some reason, they wanted to bring her back and replace the already established Mando, and it just felt dumb. It's like you don't need to do this. This isn't needed for the story to progress, but they had to do it, right? But then a bunch of little projects like Star Wars Visions came out, and the first season was alright. They had it was decent artists. It was just, side artists giving their take on Star Wars, and it was alright. I liked it. But then Visions Season 2 came out, and it was just meh. It wasn't either good or bad. It was just, we already see, like, the first season was by far the best, and had by far more artistic talent than 2. It was alright. Maybe I should Google this shit while I'm. Please let nothing show up that isn't supposed to. Star Wars Visions. Yeah, so you had this. You had interesting stories and interesting artistic design, right? This was by far my favorite. The one with the black and white, but only showed the red lightsaber. I wish I could move the images closer, but it is what it is. Yeah, it was fine. I did not much care for this. This was season 2, kind of goofy. My man had the fucking lightsaber umbrella up in this bitch. Oh no, this was the one with the bitch with the lightsaber stilettos, and that shit went fucking hard. And again, this was season 2. I guess native to a planet. Yeah, this was the better one. I think this one was honestly the best of Star Wars Visions. Yeah, again, this was also season 2. They're trying to portray like a mural and a painting, and the fight through like a painting is like, you don't need to show. I just want to see fights. I don't much care for flashy goddamn imagery, because after a while it just gets boring. This one was about a race. Again, the artistic whatever was whatever. Oh yeah, this bitch was like this was season 1 shit. Like, see, you can see just a clear distinction between Vision season 1 and 2. And then you got, yeah, I don't know why I wasn't just Googling this shit while I was talking. Yeah, you had The Mandalorian, and again, season 2 was genuinely sad. I should probably put spoilers. Oh, yeah, they replaced it with this cunt. What the fuck's her name? The Mandalorian fans turn on season 3, a massive drop in quality. Yep, not surprising. Backlash is strong with Mando as users review score plummets and some critics pull out their blasters while Paramount's Picard. I don't care about Picard. Fuck that shit. Yeah, I think Bo-Katan, I think her name was. Yeah, they replaced Mando. Oh yeah, they also had Lizzo and Jack Black. They forced my man over here to play a part. There's this goofy woman. Yeah, Mando and Grogu. And it's... I just don't... It's sad that they throw Pedro... Yeah, Din Djarin. Threw it under the bus. But, anyway. But yeah, again, back on Kathleen Kennedy, it's like, I feel like if they would delegate and outsource to companies that actually have genuine talent instead of, you know, destroying the IP. Because I mean, it has to be it has to just be incompetence. Because they get some things right, right? If it was just malice, they wouldn't get anything right. They would do everything in their power to do what people do not want to see. But there are good projects. They do come out with good Star Wars projects, like another one that I liked, Andor. Andor was fucking amazing. Now again, if you've seen Rogue One, you know he dies. So there's not really any stakes, but you know, because this just told a bunch of side stories. Like you had the story of Andor, right? But then you had the story of this goofball who was official of the Empire. Then you had this woman who, I think she took his job, right? I think so, but then you had the subplot where he was in prison, and it was fucking amazing, right? Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed this. Like, this was something I could shut my brain the fuck off and just genuinely enjoy. And it had no Jedi. Like, I feel like if they are to continue, they should either do the path of the Yu Zhang Vong, so this overarching villainous alien group or faction that is a threat to all life in the galaxy, or they should do small, contained stories like these with completely new characters. So you know, if they die, they die. If they don't, they don't. You don't know as the viewer. You just wanted to see how things, because again, it has stakes. The thing with Star Wars Obi-Wan is there was no stakes. They've destroyed the canon, and you know nothing's going to happen to any of the characters, right? Because, again, it's a prequel, and you know these characters are going to show up again. So there was no stakes, and it was boring. But with this, there was genuine stakes. Well, again, not with Andor, but with the other characters around him. And it was genuinely a darker story. So, I mean, they can possibly make decent stories in Star Wars, but I don't think she has the passion or the creativity, and it's clearly not her. She's just the fucking figurehead. But, I mean, I assume she greenlights these projects, but the problem is she has no idea what the fuck the consumer wants. She's just the head. You know, she's just sucking in the money. But she clearly has no creative talent. Yeah, this is absolutely just a fucking self-insert. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this. I mean, Star Wars could come back, but I don't think it has the momentum or the inertia it had 10 years ago. People just don't really care anymore. But anyway, see ya.